So I never told you that we were in the city of Carthage, Illinois. And that auctioneer had all those old cars. Some very valuable stuff. So this is a historic square, and it's typical of most Midwest towns. You have a square, and the county courthouse is right in the middle. And then you have to drive all around the square. And so this is the county seat. This is where Joseph Smith was riding on his horse to come probably to this courthouse right here. I'm going to try and find out the date of it. So, this is very interesting. It was completed just before the spring of 1839. It was brand new when Lincoln lost his court case here. So we have Abraham Lincoln, who was one of our best presidents ever. A drunken Irish deckhand, William Frame, killed a shipmate while their steamboat was docked at Frederick on the Illinois River in Schuyler County. When the shipmate blew cigar smoke in his face, Frame attempted to knock the cigar from the smoker's mouth. Meeting resistance, Frame drew a long butcher knife from his side and drove it into the hilt into the victim's chest. Local citizens were outraged. Frame got his case moved to a supposedly more neutral setting here in Hancock County. He hired a young circuit-riding attorney, Abraham Lincoln, to defend him. The trial lasted one day. The jury found Frame guilty. Lincoln tried to get the judgment set aside, but he failed. 3 weeks later, Frame was hung, the only client that Lincoln lost to a hangman's noose. Among the jury members in this case was Daniel H. Wells, a prominent early Hancock County settler who later converted to Mormonism and became Brigham Young's counselor in the presidency of the Mormon court. So I'm glad I came here and found this out. We came to Carthage not because Joseph Smith was killed here, but because they have farmhouse smoked deli meats, and I bought some good bratwurst. And by the way, Englishka, they had some Swedish potato sausage, and I bought some of that. And now we're on the way to Keokuk, Iowa, just down the road. So this is the original old jailhouse. And that's where the Irishman was incarcerated while his trial was going on here. So let's just see what else there is to see here, because I'm not going in there. It's I think they have monuments to soldiers and stuff. The whole place has got this fence around it. So we have come to Keokuk, and there's a paddle wheel steamer museum here. Now, I don't think this is it, but here is a paddle wheel with 2 steam engines. So Armco Steel Corporation, pretty interesting. So I failed to tell you, back at Carthage, where I was videoing the old county jail, that's where Joseph Smith and his brother Hiram, they were in the jail and they were murdered there. The a mob overpowered the guards and shot them to death. Okay, so we're looking for a cemetery now. So this was the River Museum, and I went the wrong way to get to my the cemetery I wanted. They've redone the train depot. That's that red roof building over there. And then there's this statue. It's quite impressive. And it says Curtis. And then a bunch of names and regiments they were with. And then a little park. So that's the Mississippi. We're going to use Google Maps and find the Mound Cemetery. So, they are working on it. Central tower restoration of the exterior masonry, doors, and windows. And you can see what it looked like in the grand old days, and now it's going to be a National Park Service. And there it is. That's all the closer I'm going to get. Looks pretty cool. So this isn't the cemetery I wanted. I mean, I wanted to come here, but there was a cemetery called Prairie Mounds Cemetery overlooking the Des Moines River. But the gate was locked and there was only one way. And that, I'm sure it was the Indian burial ground, part of it. Because it overlooks the Des Moines River. It's up on the banks. Anyway, it was closed. And then I wanted to see where the Des Moines River dumped into the Mississippi River. Couldn't even get close to it. So, I'm upset about that. However, this is the Keokuk National Cemetery. So, soldiers and their wives can be buried here. And this is up on top of the banks of the Mississippi. And then just hang loose here a moment, and then there's a regular cemetery over here, and this is huge. So that's the Oakland Cemetery. Huge. So we have frozen meat, and we need to keep it frozen, so we're probably going to look at a couple of things more and then call it a day. We've seen a lot of stuff already. So this is the Keokuk Lock and Dam, number 19. And that building over there is no longer used. So I don't know when it was built. So they're doing some maintenance on it. The thing closes at 12 o'clock. Or else I could be on the other side of this. Of course, I still wouldn't see much because there's no ships or nothing coming through it. Another bust. So this was the guardhouse where they charged you money to go across the bridge. So let's go and see if we can find anything interesting here. So the sign there says that this part of Iowa was ruled over by the French and Spanish for 150 years. And for a while, it was a home for half-breeds, the descendants of Indians and French hunters. So here, pay toll here. And this is a park. So there is a statue to the chief Keokuk, which later became Chief Keokuk. And if you remember, I said that that was a statue with a name on it, forgot the name. Well, he fought in the Civil War, and then he became mayor of Keokuk. So let's see how far this goes. It has a smell down here like it's a refinery. So I wish they had more information on this bridge. We seen, here's some signage up here. There was a So this is the public water supply now. They first discussed the public water supply in the 1850s, but nothing was done because almost all the homeowners had cisterns near their house, so they had to pump their water up from a cistern. And it wasn't until 1876 that they organized the corporation. They estimated the cost to be $100,000, and numerous businessmen bought the stock, and so the early waterworks was founded. Let's see some of the pictures here. So it doesn't say when that one was built. It looks fairly new to me. So let's this probably was made in the 20s, and so it shows you had to pay a toll when you came back. You see, you didn't see it says stop, pay toll here. So I'm sure Illinois had one on the opposite side, and I can drive up to that one on the other side. But yeah, it's got a, must be those, I think it's a oil refinery down there, because you see all those tankers on the railroad tracks. So if you can see the sky, it's getting really dark. We may have storms coming in, and I have to go buy gas. So come on, Georgie. There are some spectacular buildings in this town, and there's some spectacular buildings in this town that are just falling down. I'll see if I can get some pictures. And then you can see the pavement is these bricks. Oh, here's some more information. Okay. Well, we've been to the National Cemetery. And we don't go to any museums unless we can take the dog. And most museums don't want a dog inside. So, we're not Keokuk. So let me get one of these. Oh. Okay, sorry, I should have shut this off. Georgie! Good morning. It's Friday morning. It was a little misty. And finally, I get some traffic with Tugs. He's going upriver. And last night, there was a tug that was pushing 10 barges. And that looks like about the same. I just got back from walking Georgie. So I had to trot over to my truck and get the camera. Otherwise, I wouldn't have got that picture of that tug. So, we are going to pack it up today and go back home. We've had a wonderful 2 days here, and we've seen a lot of history. The trip yesterday was really good. Okay, so I'm going to sign off. Thanks for watching.